Mm-mm-mm-mm. Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Friday, the 10th of January 2025. I'm Imran from Web Squadron. Thought I'd go live just because I was racking my brains out with something earlier with a solution for a client. Got there in the end, sorted everything out, and then I just thought, well, I've got about an hour to go before my son gets home, so why not go live and have a bit of fun with everyone on here? Hope you're all doing okay. Not sure how many will turn up. It has been pointed out that when I go live, I kind of just go live without much advance warning to anyone that I'm going live. Because I struggle to plan a lot of my live chats at the moment, mainly because every day is different. There's always something or the other happening. Maybe I've got a bright idea and I'm doing something else or whatever. But scheduling's a bit of an issue with me. So I don't want to say every Wednesday, every Friday at certain times I'll be live. I just have to pick and mix kind of thing and drop in when I can. Hey Dave, hey Kader Studios, how are you all doing? There's been some interesting news about Elementor, obviously with the version 4, and I'll talk more about that when we got a few more people coming on. But I hope you're all having great Fridays. I hope you're all making progress in whatever you're working on, and you are just slaying and killing it and making great progress, basically. And if not, why not? Let's talk about it on here on the live chat. It was kind of cool today because someone asked a question, and I might share it on screen in a moment. Shall I share it on screen? Yeah, I'll share it on screen. Let me just try and get it on. This is the beauty about going live, right? And then you don't have your windows all set up properly. There's always a mistake, and it's never good to do this. So if we just go live here, so someone shared this image on they wanted to kind of replicate this with the clipped path borders. So they wanted to get that kind of thing. And if it was a white background, you could just pop in like a bit of an image and overlay it. But because there's like this image behind it, it was like, how can I do this? So after messing around with ChatGPT for a bit, I did manage to come up with some, it's lengthy code, but the code works. So it will give you that outline that you can see there. Obviously, just go and drop in your quotes and then position them however you want. But that was really cool. I was really satisfied with getting that to work because ChatGPT was throwing out some weird ways to do it and it was over complicating it. And then it started using pseudo elements. And I was like, no, 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 no. Let's start with basics. Let's just do this, then do this. Now we chop it off a bit. And then once I got that bit working, then it was replicating it and maneuvering it. So it's all really good. It's all really good. And I think that's sometimes the things about problem solving I love. All right. I don't get paid for it. I didn't have to give up 2 hours of my time. It was nearly 2 hours. So that's cost me time to do my other things. But there was something about that problem where I felt like that is a problem I can see other people having, or I might one day want to do it. So if we crack it now and find a way to do it, I can save that code, keep it safe for if ever I come across that problem or I want to use something like that, or someone else has that problem. I can point them over to that bit of code and away they go. So Dave is doing really good coding webhooks and security packages. Woo! That sounds like a lot of work. I mean, if you're excited by it, that's good. Webhooks and stuff are never my strong point, you know, because you do get yourself mixed up with regards to sorting them out. Tara Kangas, how you doing? Yeah, so Kater Studio says version 4 is amazing. I mean, with version 3.27, the beta version, right? They went and did the CSS grid with the spanning. If I'm really honest, that whole spanning thing they've given you is good. It's good they've given it to you. But if I'm going to be brutally honest, it wasn't a problem because I would just do it within the CSS. And I had a bit more control, I find, by doing just CSS because I can go duck, 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 all in one go. Whereas when you start to do span one column, span two rows, whatever, individually. You're kind of going in and out, in and out, in and out into each one. And I used to find that we had a code snippet that Mark Harris produced as well, whereby you could have like, inside of WordPress, the admin, the sidebar, sorry, you could go in and set up your pattern and it would dump out the code for you. So it was easier to maintain. But for some people, if that's how they want to do it, where they've got that field now, then go and use it. It's a great feature, but it's not like it couldn't be done anyway. And I find that if you've got it in like the CSS, I can go, right, that one will be span 4 columns. So this one will now be 3 columns. And I can adjust them and see it adjusting all in one area. Because imagine you got a grid of 9 and then you change one and then you got to go into that other container, right? And then change that. Then go into the other container, go to the advanced tab, change that. Another container, advanced tab, change that. It's a lot of clicking. And I sometimes feel that when you've got it in a CSS, I can just go, well, that will now be 3, /1, and that will be 2 /3, and boom, boom, boom. And you see it changing on the fly, especially when you get to the mobile view. And then you go, right, I'll stick an @media bit in, copy the code, and now just jig it even more. And you can see it all happening, like domino effect. So I feel like it's really good, not knocking it, but I prefer the CSS bit of it. When it comes to the local Google font loading, I tested that out this morning twice because I wanted to be sure that it wasn't a fluke. So I had a page. I don't know if I've still got the page open. Yes, I have still got the page open. Let me just quickly show it to you. And don't forget to smash the like button if you are viewing. So here is the page that I currently got over here. Let me just expand on it. So I loaded up this page with just Elementor and Elementor Pro, not the beta version 3.27, not that. And I went and stuck in some Google fonts. Actually, no, I first did it with the Arial font, so a system font. And when you go to page speed and all of that, and you're checking, the scores and all of this sort of stuff, is it all coming through, whatever, everything was fine. By the way, that 86 you saw down there, that's to do with accessibility. It's just a page, don't forget, right? So when you use a system font, it was fine. You don't get any warnings or anything. When you load in a Google font, you're then told that there's some Google fetching going on, okay? When you then activate the 3.27 beta feature, which is for the Google fonts to be locally loaded, that warning disappears. But you will still get a warning. So what will happen is when you go to, where is it? The past audits, you will still get told that there is a pre-connect going on. But it's not actually, you don't have to worry about it, but you will see this. So what's happening is, by locally loading the fonts, it is now locally storing them so that it isn't fetching, but you still get this pre-connect thing going on. And I was trying to mess around with, is it a fallback? Is it the swap? What is it? And I couldn't quite get there. However, that being said, it does work. So from the point of view as does the 3.27 beta version locally load the Google fonts? Yes, it does. If that pre-connect warning, don't forget though, that's in the past audit. So it's not a diagnostic for a recommendation. It means you've passed it, but hey, just to let you know X, Y, Z. But it won't affect your score. To be honest, it's very negligible how much it affects your score. Stephen, if you have seen version 4, can you tell us how much of a change? I haven't actually seen version 4. I have seen the site planner, and I have got a couple of questions that I've put back to their dev team about it, just to be sure. I think it's really good, the AI site planner. I think, wow, this is good. But there's a couple of, I don't want to say red flags, but things that just made me go, if you're going to release this, you need to do this. So I will eventually do a video on it after the 16th of January. I don't want to do a video prior to them releasing because I don't think that's fair. Hey, by the way, they've not even told you about it, but here's what I've seen. No, I don't want to do that. But I haven't seen version 4 in terms of the class system. I was on Monday going to record a couple of videos of how to do some other stuff with the Elementor top bar on top of the video I released on, I think it was Monday, about adding in 4 extra icons. Because now I'm like, well, what if they already give you that? That video becomes redundant. So I'm holding back on um, any nitty gritty Elemental videos until January the 16th occurs. Um, and I will, as soon as possible after that event, get my reaction video out because I will be seeing version 4 for the first time, like most of you. Hey, Chris, hope you're okay. So I hope that we look, whenever we've gone from like a version, so I was around at version 2 and then we went to version 3. I wasn't there for version 1 to 2. I was there during the version 2 era. Then we went to version 3. And there were issues over the global colors, right? With them resetting and or wiping out. There was issue over that. And then during version 3, we had the containers. I never had issues with the containers. There were some people that did, but hey Jow, but I have found that, and I'm going to do a video on this as well. I have found, hey John, I have found that whenever people go, oh God, version 2 to 3 and version 3 to 4, or version 3.25 to version 3.26, and you can talk about every version under the sun, I have never had an issue. Hey Edio, I'm just going to quickly recap on what I was talking about if anyone's jumped in. The version 3.27 beta, the new CSS grid spanning, great, but I prefer to use CSS. And if you don't use CSS grid, it's not going to bother you. The 3.27 version of locally loading your fonts, it does work. I can tell you now, I've tested it with a system font, then a Google font, then I updated to the beta, checked again with the Google font, and it is all preloading and all of that. So yeah. Now in terms of version 4, and I'm going to come on to Steve's question in a moment about what feature do I hope is in it. But going back to the thing about some people are saying, oh, if version 4 comes out, it's going to be really, manic and all of that. I have never had an issue. I didn't even have an issue when version 3 came out with the global colors. And I was like, why is everyone whinging? I'm not getting this issue. If you have a lean and mean website and you haven't overdone it with too many third-party plugins, let alone Elementor add-ons plugins, you should be okay. Because I never get these problems. Sometimes it's because I wait a week. But when I have dummy websites, I do sometimes update within a day or on the day just to test out. Does something go, something go massively, majorly wrong? I've never had a major issue. I did have one minor issue once with a mobile menu. And I believe it was to do with some form of delayed optimization or something that was going on with the JavaScript. So when you click the mobile menu toggle, it just was not opening. It wasn't overflow hidden. It just was not opening. And that was but that was a minor issue, right? And you just roll back or whatever. So I would say that when version 4 or even version 3.27 comes out, you wait 1 week. Wait for the updates or the bug fixes, because I hear this so much about Elementor. Tell me one system that you've worked with, whether it's your Apple phone or your computer or anything, when there's an update, within a day or two, there's always a 0.1 or 0.01 fix that comes out. It always happens, even on computer games, all sorts. So I would say just be careful. Now, the feature I'm really looking forward to, and by the way, Eddie says videos have helped you out a lot. I'm really glad. I'm glad they're making a difference, my friend. What feature do I really want? Steven says. It's the global classes, basically. It's being able to create like, I don't know, a button. And I can then give it a class name and I can change the text or the color or whatever for that particular button. So I could have 2 buttons, and this is called call to action, and this is called contacts or basic or whatever, right? And I can set different animations, colors, fonts. You wouldn't really, they'd be consistent, but let's say you had them different. I can very quickly on the fly do it. Now, with the CSS framework, you can kind of do that already. But if they're able to introduce that, great. Now, a lot of people have already said, they're just copying Bricks. That's what Bricks had. Well, in essence, Bricks weren't the first one to do it. And it is other people doing that as well. And you could almost argue that the Elementor audience at that time weren't exposed to that way of thinking. Because let's be honest here, right? A lot of people that use Elementor or even standard WordPress or Wix aren't really in it to use classes or even CSS, right? Basic users, your person down the road, I've got a flower shop, I'm going to create a website. They're just going to create, the people that use the GoDaddy page builder or the Bluehost page builder. They see the advert on GoDaddy, hey, bakery store. So they go and create their account, download a template, swap the logo, swap the name, swap a few details and pictures, job done, boom, we're done. They don't care about padding. Forget classes, forget components, forget all CSS, right? They're not even thinking about margin and padding. They're not even thinking about different font size. They're not even probably thinking about font families, right? They're not thinking about none of that. They're not thinking about when you get to the tablet, does things look right and all of that? And, is there any overflow? And none of that whatsoever. So when you go into the Bricks territory where it was really, really good, not knocking it at all, because when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, this is impressive. They're not the only one that do it. Others do it as well. So I don't see it as imitation. I see it as evolution. Just like Bricks are evolving, Breakdance is evolving, Gutenberg is evolving. Everything has to evolve. And if we then start to say, you're only doing it because you're copying, well, don't you want other things to evolve, right? It's like when the iPhone first came out, right? When the iPhone first came out, I remember I got the very first iPhone in 97. And so many of my friends were like, what's that? What do you need a big screen for? It's really slow and all of this. And then every other phone company started adopting, right? Nokia went out of fashion, didn't it? BlackBerries just went out of fashion. They became just work-only mobiles. And every other mobile started evolving towards it. Samsung have kind of very much done the whole folded approach and all of that. Other phones are looking into it. So I always feel like it's not copying, it's kind of looking at the market and going, this is interesting, right? It's like Toyota and Prius cars with their whole hybrid system. When other people start doing the hybrid system, then you have the electric. One day someone will invent the first proper hydro powered car, the proper one that you can roll out at scale. When other people will evolve and probably use that. It's not about copying. It's about saying, do you know what? We never considered that, but maybe we should now. And I feel like if Elementor evolve, and I think there will be bumps. I think there are going to be like glitches and bugs. We're not going to get it. This is a roadmap we're seeing in January. Version 4 could be 1 year, 6 months. We don't know when. So, but I hope that when we do get it, it will transcend into what we have now. So if you've got a website with containers and grid and Elementor, whatever, and then the version 4 comes along, the release version, published version, it just fits, right? It just blends in. So all of a sudden, if you now want your buttons to become a class system, don't forget you can do this all with CSS frameworks anyway. You can build it yourself. So whenever anyone goes, you can't do it, you can if you want to put in the time. But if they give us the feature to do it and it just blends in without breaking, then that gets a thumbs up from me, kind of thing. Hossam says it's not copying anything. It's dry. Don't repeat yourself programming approach by creating components. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of it, Hossam, right? I just feel like their market audience at the time was like the basic of the basic. But then people wanted more. And that's why we then had the container. We want more. Then the loop grid arrived. No, we want more. The grid came, the taxonomy filters came. We're never satisfied, right? Like to be honest, okay, you know, do bricks, breakdowns, any of them have a proper bulletproof filtering system? Not really. You still got to go and use Grid Builder, don't you? So I feel like there's improvements everywhere that could be made, but I really hope they nail it. I really hope they've spent the time, and you could argue from the recent updates and things we're getting, they've been progressive. Would you agree they've been progressive in terms of like giving us stuff like that kind of like whets your appetite? So for a lot of you, you might have gone, right, I'm done with Elementor, and then, oh, hold on. Loop grid is here. Ooh, taxonomy filters here. Off canvas, right? Before we're using pop-ups, now we got the off canvas. Oh, the mega menu is here. There's stuff that's coming which removes the need for third-party plugins. However, there is some stuff they've taken that I feel like you need to get back in. I released a video on Monday, which was how to add 4 icons to your top bar. Like the history, get it back. The pixel width, get it back. Allow me to go straight away to my CSS without having to go site settings, custom CSS. No, make it quicker. So when I'm on the page, boom, CSS. I want to go straight to it. Make it simpler and easier for me to get to those. And the same goes with the custom code. That sits in WordPress. You got to go out of the page to WordPress, go to your sidebar, custom code. What if you've got loads of CSS, right? I shouldn't have to leave. Bring it in so I can go, right, I'm now going to, I've created loads of CSS for my buttons. I don't want to have it all in custom CSS. I'm going to go to custom code. I'm going to say button CSS and drop it there. But I want to be able to get to it with one click on the page. Don't take me out. Because I always find like, it's not good to do that, I don't think, forget the user experience. We're now talking about DX, right? The ducks, the DX, the developer experience. Did I just create my own little acronym there? Don't reinvent the field, add to it. Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely John. Flippinson, I hate when page builders have been like sports team and die hard sport. Yeah, we don't need tribes. Look, Flippinson, you've got that's how I feel, right? Okay. I have nothing against whatever you use. I don't even care if you use Squarespace. I don't care if you use GoDaddy. You love GoDaddy and you're going to use their page builder. If you're building and you're satisfying a need and the clients or you are winning, you know, you're doing well, fine. It's because it's like cars, isn't it? Everyone has their car brand or make or type of car they love, and then someone else has a smaller car or a bigger car or more expensive or a cheaper or a really old car. That works for them. Unless that car is a danger to society and you shouldn't be driving it because it's dangerous, it's not for us to comment on, right? So cricket lovers, sir, how can we set up post images? Same, kindly help me. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean by post images. Can you clarify? I mean, you've asked the question multiple times, but can you clarify what you mean? Yeah, I mean, Stephen, you're right. When they copy, I mean, I'll be honest, okay? I've done some stuff where I have seen other people take my code and make a plugin out of it. And I can literally see it's got my comments still in the code. I've seen some people take something I've done and integrate it into a solution they've got as well. And they do not credit me whatsoever. They'll release it and go, yeah, look what I did. And I'm like, you've just literally taken exactly what I did. But then I kind of go, who cares? I wasn't charging for it anyway. It's open source. I use ChatGPT. At the end of the day, it's just code. So I might have come to a solution and modified and made it work, but someone else might have come to that same solution eventually anyway. So that's just what it is. Kasrawi says, are there any extension to know the field name? I'm not sure I understand that. Alter Ego, what do you think of the future of website builders now there's AI? Well, Elementor are going to give you a site planner with built-in AI. And I've seen it, and I was impressed by it, okay? AI, think about this, right? AI makes our lives more efficient. AI may give you a wireframe or a website. You still are going to have to go in and modify to make it work and tick the boxes for you and your client. So all AI is going to do is, you know, give you the, think of it like this, right? You might hire a decorator who does all your floor and plastering and your painting and everything, your wallpapering, puts your shelves up and all of that. And they may even make your furniture, put your sofa in, your table. And that's it. You're still going to have to come in and set your stuff up. You're still going to have to go, right, we're going to move the vase there. What pictures are going to go on the shelf? The decorator might pop them on and you're going to go, nah, I'm going to swap it around. You're still going to have to refine it. And that's the best analogy I think I can come up with, right? Even when you watch these programs on TV where like developers come in and they transform the room, they might make it look really good, right? But have you noticed how most of these room transformation programs, when they show the lounge, you kind of go, well, where's the TV? It's like they've hidden the TV. So when you now move your 85-inch TV in, you have to make it work for you because you're the audience. It's your room. And the same with AI. AI will set it out, but you're still going to have to fine tune it to make it work. I'm just going to fly through the comments. Hey, web dev, how you doing? Components approach is out there. Yep, Jonathan, I think he means using back-end to front-end maybe. Well, to be honest, John, I mean, his question isn't crystal clear, you know, and I would say go over to the Web Squadron Facebook channel. Let me just cancel it. Go over to the Web Squadron Facebook channel and ask the question there with a bit more detail. Because where are we? Extinction. Hey? I want to know some field names in my WordPress to do some coding, but I cannot find my field name. All right, easy one, okay? Here's what you do, my friend, right? So let's just go to preview, right? Here's what you do, okay? If you are really, really, really struggling, okay, go over to your field, right-click and go to inspect, and you will probably find the field name over there. If you're struggling to do that, just go to right-click and do view page source. Then go to file, and then, whoops, let me go to file. Where is it? Why isn't it opening? I think it's my screen I've got open over here. Why is it not doing it for me? Why is it not doing it? It's because I've got too many tabs open. But what you'll do is you will save this, right? You're going to save this page to your desktop or whatever as a web page. Then you go to ChatGPT and you add the file, and then you tell it, give me the field name for this section or that section or whatever, and it will churn it out for you if you're struggling. But that's, you know, that's if you're really struggling. But you should be able to right click and you'll get the class name or the HTML for how it's built up. Is the new Elementor AI not the same as the Sitekit? No. It's a little bit more than that. It's a little bit more than that. And I'm keen to just see, there's a few not a glitch, wrong word. There's a few bugs with it in terms of, well, not even bugs. I'm using the wrong words here. I don't mean to say bugs. It's just, there's a few things where I feel like they've missed a step. And if they can either build it in or clarify it, it will be even better. But we'll see more on the 16th of January. To be honest, Alter Ego, I don't know the future of websites. You know, I feel like we will be refining, but maybe not, right? And that's just how it is, kind of thing. So cricket lovers, you keep asking the same question, right? All I'm going to say is you need to clarify. So you're saying, how do we set up post images? Well, you need to clarify that a bit more, okay? Gilmore, it's better to have all of your CSS in your WordPress customizer or directly on each Elementor page. WordPress customizer or the Elementor custom CSS bit in the site settings or even the custom code. If you do it on each individual page, the only time I would say do that is if it's relevant for that page. If it might be site-wide, then you want to do it in your custom CSS with your site settings. Respect, have you ever tried to make a website using, yep, I did. It's how I started doing websites. I started working on websites in 2003, middle of 2003. So I'm now 20, well, middle of 2025 will make it 22 years for me in essence. I've been working on websites. John says, clever trick that makes a cool video or a short. Which bit, John? Oh, do you mean the page source thing? Yeah, I mean, I've been meaning to do a video on that for a while, but it's very difficult to make anything like that interesting. Trust me. I tried it and it's like, no, this is really boring. Hey, George, how are you? How you doing? What's the weather like down there for you? I mean, it's freezing up here. Right now, it's -4 outside. It is bitter. Shrilly cold at the moment. Alter Ego, are you going to make any more videos for Bricks Builders? There's various reasons why I have not done Bricks Builder videos, mainly because there are other people doing it. Like Paul does stuff, right? Paul's got courses coming out. Make sure you sign up for those. Secondly, I get a ton of criticism from lots of people and members of the Bricks community whenever I've put out a video. And I always feel like there's very little appreciation for anything I've done for Bricks. I've done massive tutorials, and whenever some people watch them, and they always come back with, wow, this was really, really good. Even though those videos are now like, oh God, a year and a half out of date, they're still good for people wanting to learn Bricks. However, if I don't get appreciated for what I do, why do I want to do it? So one day I may return, but at the moment I just don't have that intention at the moment, because I just feel like I get more love from the Elementor crowd and WordPress people than, I'm not saying everyone from Bricks does not appreciate it. Please don't quote me on that. But widely, the tribalism is very rampant there, okay, and in the breakdance as well. Not let alone breakdance marketing, which is just, I hate that whole negative side of things. John says, you reviewed my first Elementor website and I recently designed it. I'm using your form to ACF solution. Would you consider checking it out? Not right now, but one day, I'm pretty sure in the future I will do that. Some of the things I'm doing in 2025 is I'm changing what I do on my live chats and whatnot, because I have people pay for one-to-one consultations. So now I feel like stuff like that, where I'm giving out consultative advice, that's all paid time. But maybe in the future, I don't know. Do you create websites in other platforms like Shopify? I have done. I've never liked it. I like to be able to take something, and if I want to move it or make it bigger or whatever, or do what I want, I can. Shopify is a pain in the ass. I'm being honest here. And Shopify for me is more of a template-driven solution like other solutions out there, and I don't like that. You know, I'm a web developer. I'm a web designer. I'm a problem solver. It just doesn't work for me. I'm just not the kind of template. Let's build with a template and just roll that out. I just can't be doing with that. 19 degrees. Yeah, I mean, 19 degrees is quite normal, isn't it, George, in the UK? 90 degrees for us, you're right, is summertime. We're like, yay! You know, anything over 16 is like, ooh, what a lovely day. My sheets be brown. Damn. You're in California. Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's problems all over the world, right? you know, whether it's to do with fires, war, poverty, destitution, lifestyle, you know, anything and everything. But it's, I mean, I mean, the amount of homes that have been just decimated in the fire is like wow, because it's not like and again, don't take this the wrong way, but if you live in an area where there is war or conflict or something happening, you're almost a little bit prepared for, right, we've got to be careful. Anything could happen. Watch out for yourself. Watch who you talk to, where you go, whatever. But in some places of the world, like look, where I live right now, right? Can you imagine if suddenly we had that? John, look where you live, right in Kent. Imagine, right, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there was a fire like what we see in California and all that, right? Imagine like, you know, just spread like that, the way it has spread. We'd be like, flipping heck, right? So sometimes there are some things that happen that are just extraordinary. Um, Media person, do you have Elementor course or detailed video for blog website? Yeah, I've got the Elementor course and I have done videos on blog. So I've got the Elementor course. But if you go and do a search for blog, you'll see I did a 7-hour video once, which was start to finish. It's about 2 years old now, year and a half old now, which was building us from start to finish, basically. Blogging website. Hey Lex, how you doing? Can you make a tutorial on how to make the fav icon adapt to dark and light mode? Well, I did a video on light and dark. Paul did one as well this week. So if you go and do a search for light and dark on our Web Squadron channel, you'll find a video which has got the HTML for the toggle, the script, and tons of CSS, which in the video, I show you how you would apply your light color, then you would apply your dark color, and the toggle switches the class name that is now active. So it does it all for you. So go and watch those videos. John, non-WordPress related, but where did you get that watch band? This one, this is just Amazon, really. It's just it's a magnet. It's magnetic, so you know, like it just magnetizes. So so it's easy to take on and off, basically. Just Amazon. I think it was 12 quid. You know, which might sound expensive, but you know, it just, you know, if you just like, I don't know if you can pick that up. Kind of noise there where it just magnetizes on. So it's really easy to do without, because I have really thin wrists, right? My wrists, if you look at my wrists, right, they're like proper thin. So when you have like, you know, like proper chunky metal bracelets and all of that, you know, the rings don't always work for me, but that is pretty damn good. But yeah, it's Amazon. Just Amazon, just, you know, Apple Watch, magnet strap kind of thing. I mean, the good thing is I put it on with the black and the orange behind, but when you attach it, I could have done it so that this was on the front and this would have been behind. But I preferred it just to be a bit more sleeker with the whole black kind of thing-ish kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, John, you live near the woods. Let's not think of it like that, right? Dave, how about a chat on your other external tools that you use as a solo developer? I always find it interesting to see what others use for organization. Okay, right. I just put it on the wrong way. That's why it wasn't fitting. Wait a minute. Let me just get that on. Right. So when it comes to web design, I like to use my, when it comes to wireframing, I like to use my Remarkable Pro. Let me show you. Right. So this is one of my favorite tools, right? I can share this during a live chat. I can do a drawing on here, and I can email it from here. I don't have to be connected. I can send an email off to someone. What is so cool about this? You know, when I've done some live chats and I'm sometimes drawing on my screen and the drawing appears over here, it's because I was using this. And this is just brilliant. So I can design a wireframe and I can be scribbling, and in meetings I can take notes and whatever. But I don't know why I turned it on. Yeah, I'll add it in here for you. So it was the Remarkable Pro. It's just come out. about 3 months ago. It ain't cheap, right? Let me tell you now, it is not cheap. Right, so let's just get started. So if I just show you over here how this works. Okay, I've just moved up a bit of a page. Right, so I can it is literally like drawing on paper. This is how amazing this is. I mean, I've always been after a digital notepad, right? But this is flipping brilliant. And you have all of these different pens and you have different colors as well. It's just brilliant in what it does for note taking, for taking notes, for handwriting, for wireframes. Because I can't be bothered with Figma, right? Just can't be bothered. If the client wants to pay for it, do it, fine. But I can't be bothered to do it for every single project. And it's a touch screen as well, by the way. But it's a brilliant, amazing. Just drop the pen and just close this off. I think it's about 600 pounds. I can't remember now. But yeah. So if you want to be progressive with your designing, go for it. I mean, obviously I build. When it comes to taking, storing my diary, you have your diary for Apple Calendar or Google Calendar, but I use Notion a lot. So Notion is for my planning. I'll have video ideas, so I will stick down my ideas for videos. I will have like a Monday to Sunday planner inside of Notion, and it's for the next 4 weeks. And I'll go, right, on this day, I'm going to do this. I'm going to build a website for someone. Got client work. I've got, I will do 5 videos I will record in the morning. When will I edit? All of that sort of stuff. And the thing I love about Notion, right, and this is the thing, is that like at any time I can just like, I can just come over to my like, whoa, where am I? Where am I? I can just come over to my phone and, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, right? It doesn't matter where you are. I could be out and about and I go, oh, I got an idea and stick it in. And it's the same Notion I'll get on my desktop. Oh, there's a bit of code or there's a problem or something. I can stick it in. Maybe a client's emailed me and I'm like, right, I better make sure we sort that out when I get home, or I'll do it tomorrow. I just stick it in my Notion. That's my task reminder. That's my task list. I mean, every morning I open up my Notion. I go, right, what is there to do? And when did I say I was going to do it? Because I got a table in there. And then if I show you here, I'm not going to show you the full version because obviously it's my protective stuff. So like for next week, I can't show you because it's got some stuff in there I can't show you. Actually, I can show you this one. Yeah, here you go. So I will have like Monday to, I'll have a table at the bottom for Monday to Sunday. What am I going to do when? You probably couldn't see that because it was blurry, not zooming in right. And then I've also got like an hour by hour thing inside a Notion. It's cleared out because today's all, when I've done something, I clear it out. And I had nothing else for this afternoon, which is why it's empty. But I will say 6 to 9, I'm going to get this done. 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, I even sometimes make a note of how many calories I'm going to burn. So by 9 a.m., I should have burned 1,500 calories. Right now, it is 2:21. And I can show you that I have burned so far. What have I burned? If I need to just log in to my phone, you can see that I have, why is it not, I hate it when it doesn't do this. It doesn't auto, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't do it very well, but that's meant to say 2,978 calories burned so far today. You have the number 2 one, I see. No, I've got the Remarkable Pro. What do you mean for the Remarkable Pro? This is the Remarkable Pro, not the number 2. The new one is the Remarkable Pro. This is the color one. This is the color one. The Remarkable Pro does not have color. It's just black and white. And the Remarkable, this one here also has the adjuster for the color, the light as well, which is pretty good if you're ever doing something and all of your lights are turned off. This is the color one. I got a bit of chocolate on the back there. Or was that my cat? Someone's put a mark on it. Yeah, so what I would say, alter ego. I mean, when it comes to, sorry, you're talking about the fav icon, aren't you? I misread that. I don't think I have a solution for the fav icon one at the moment. I haven't done anything for it. Abdullah, where do you save all your code snippets for some images forever in a proper way? The code snippets plugin or the custom code? But I tend to go for code snippets. Lex, absolutely right. Notion, what you get in Notion free is brilliant. You know, when you get so much in free, you go, why would I ever need to go to pro? Like, why? Media person, would you recommend to use free WordPress themes? Yeah, why not? I use Hello. Why not? Because if you're using a page builder on top, is there a major advantage to a free WordPress theme? Unless the theme gives you the layout and everything you need. Otherwise, I don't see the benefit of it. But you're going to know more than that. You're going to know the right thing to use, whether you will or not. Respect. Do you like to create websites using pre-built template? No, build from scratch. The only time I use a theme which is pre-built is the My Listing one for directory, but I only use it for the back-end tech, the directory bit. Everything else on the front end, the way it works, everything else I will then bespoke. Well, I'll make it bespoke to work for me, but I prefer to build from scratch. Why? Because then I'm building for the client. I'm building for them and their audience. I'm not just going to go, here's 20 templates, take your pick. Oh, you're a yoga teacher. Let's just use that. Because that then means it's not that different from someone else and someone else and someone else, right? And also, what you have to remember is, you got to remember this, okay? If you build a website for a psychotherapist, right? Or a counselor, and they love it, they may refer you to other counselors. Are you going to give the other counselor the same kind of template? Swap the logo, swap the color, swap the image, right? That ain't good. No, I'm going to look at each counselor and go, what do you need? Is it you or a team? One service, 20 services. Going to show a map? No map. Many buildings? 0 buildings, right? You know, you're going to cater for them. And when you do that, that then means that this counselor got this website and this counselor got that website. So they can see that they have paid for their website. If you start to roll out template-driven, like turnkey solutions, and it can work, I'm not knocking it. What if you got 5 people, 5 counselors, and they all know each other, and they all go, well, hold on. I paid $5,000 for my website, but it's actually not that different from yours. Well, I got mine done first, so did they just copy me? But you still paid $5,000. Well, why did we all pay $5,000 for the same kind of website? All it's done is swap out the logo, the image, and the colors. So I always feel like if you don't care about networking, you won't care. You can get away with it. But if you want to go, well, I'm going to specialize in counselor websites or dentist websites or landscaper websites, and they know people and they refer nursing homes, residential homes, doctors, right? Do you really want to keep churning out the same kind of looking website? Or do you want to cater? Because when you cater, then they can see that, I'm paying for knowledge, skills, expertise, a bespoke solution. But when you just start knocking out the same thing, that's when people are going to kind of go, well, why will I pay you $5,000 for a template built website? People do, but I think a lot of people are wising up to that, and they have been for a while, because they're going to look at it and go, so you're telling me I can pick one of these 5 because it's on your website. You literally tell me, here's my templates, pick one, and then you want to charge me $5,000. And I'm going to go, well, you know, I would rather pay $5,000 and get something completely unique. Because what you're saying is $5,000 for a template, and if I want to add stuff to it, it's an extra $4,000. So now we've jumped up to 9. Whereas I could go to someone who, for the same initial price of $5,000, is going to be building me what I want to have. Can you see the psychological logic of that? Nothing wrong with template driven websites, but you got to think about, you get your foot in the door, right, with a certain industry, and the customer loves it. Oh, who built your website? Oh, Imran, Web Squadron did. Oh, I'm going to go there. And you start churning out the same thing. People will cotton on to that, right? So have a think about that. It's when, yeah. Now, if they say they want a copy, that's different. Hey, John, by the way, that's totally different. Then you can replicate the feel and look of it. But what you don't want to do is just churn it out. But that's just my take. You know, I'm not right. I'm not wrong, but I'm not right. Extraordinary. Could you make a tutorial for implementing Lennis Smooth Scroll? Maybe. I'm not going to guarantee it. By the way, Shabeen, sorry, you said hi ages ago and I've just said it now. Yeah, that's it, John. It's 600. You know, exactly. You can't surf the internet on this, John. This is just for writing, but this is my... I mean, I could be watching Netflix and I've got this near me. And then I have an idea and I can start making notes. I can scribble a design. I can draw and it's saved. And at any time, I can go, boom, email. And I can email it to a client. I can email it to me and it appears on my screen. You know, it can be there in the morning. I could do something late at night and then send it to myself. And in the morning, it's on my screen now over here. And I can add it to Notion or expand on it or do what I want. When it comes to productivity, this has been brilliant. But I've got a new toy coming later today when Amazon eventually deliver. It's going to be a teleprompter that will sit over here over the camera, because there are some videos I want to do where I script out what I'm going to say. And what I hate is when you're recording and then you're reading your script and I have to stop to memorize and then I read it because I want to look at the camera, not the screen. And I always find it's like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. And it doesn't feel fluid in the way I like to deliver, the way I'm being now. And you can see it when I edit because it's always like there's a cut. And I hate that. Some people get away with it. I don't find it works very well with my approach and how I like to do things. John, how does someone get access to the video once purchased in the profile dashboard? How does someone get access to the video once purchased? Ooh, is that a follow-on to another question? Is that a follow-on? John, is that for a one-to-one consultation or something? Did you mean for one-to-one? I'm not sure if you were meaning one-to-one or not. Abdullah, do you have a WhatsApp group? No, I don't have a WhatsApp group because my WhatsApp, my messages, my Facebook friends is my personal life. I can't be asked. It's why I can't be doing the Discord. I have enough notifications and emails and stuff happening. I don't want to moderate other stuff. So we've got the Web Squadron group and I am massively active in that. I'm active in other forums as well where I can be. But we got the Web Squadron Facebook group. But I'm not going to give out... I don't have a WhatsApp group because I don't want to be disturbed 24/7, which will happen the minute you start to do stuff like that. Because we're worldwide, aren't we? We have a global audience here kind of thing. So what are you all planning for the weekend? Anyone got anything massively exciting? There's going to be more videos coming out from me, by the way. I've got too many ideas. I had 2 weeks off from Christmas. I've got tons of ideas, not just web design. It's about business as well. And I'm just going to be sharing as much as I can. And obviously, when version 4 of Elementor finally comes out, I'll probably have to redo the Elementor course. Great, damn it. But I may have to... I won't redo it. I'll add on to it. And there may be more videos. In fact, it might be that some of the solutions I've created, like inverted... You know my border radius, the inverted one? I still feel like the way I've done that is still brilliant. I may have to redo that because maybe my logic and thinking changes. I did a video on the vertical carousel, you know, where things are moving. One's going down and the others are going up. I may have to redo that because I may change my thinking. There's so much stuff I've done. Like I've done another video on a one-page shop that comes out on Monday. I've done a video on in fact I might show it. No, can I show it to you? No, I need to log in. I can't be bothered to log in. But I've done another video on how to make your hero banners really interesting with image swapping. You're going to love this, right? That comes out on Wednesday. But then when we get version 4, I might look at it and go, actually, this can be done easier or better. So then you have to revisit your content. And I feel like that's life. When we had containers, a lot of videos I had done prior to containers with Flexbox, I had to redo because the approach was slightly different. And then like when we had the loop grid, everything I did with blogs and posts, I had to redo. Then when we had the taxonomy filter, all of my filtering videos, I had to redo. And you evolve, right? You evolve as a problem solver, a designer, a tutor, an explainer, a teacher, all of that. You move with the times. So I would say that it's exciting times because some people struggle with video content or tutorials. And I've always got ideas, but so I don't mind the challenge, but I don't want to say I'm nervous about version 4, but I really, really hope they've made it seamless. So eventually when we get the final version of version 4, it doesn't break what you got. Just like containers does not break what you got. I know some people go, oh, but I got sections, now I got containers. You can mix them up. I don't get why people don't understand this. You can have a website with containers and still have section, or the other way around. You can mix them up. It works. I've done 3 videos on it. Each time they work. So I hope we have that same seamless transition. So if you are going to use a class system or some sort of global framework, whatever, right? You can, but it doesn't knock your global colors, your global fonts, and anything out the window. And I don't think it will. Elementor, when they went to Flex, now from the get-go, Flex container is default, right? Before it was optional. That doesn't mean that if you've got a website built with sections 5 years old, 5 years ago, not 5 years old, 5 years ago, they still work. So if we do have that transition, I'm sure there'll be like a good year and a half easily, because that's how long it kind of was with the whole Flexbox. Easily a year and a half of, you know, alpha, beta, alpha, whatever. There'll be loads of stuff going on. I'm sure of it. And then at some point it will be, no, this is how you need to build. But if you don't want to, fine. It just means you can still use your legacy methods and your legacy ways. Because no one forces you to use CSS. Remember this, you can build an Elementor website and you don't have to use Pro. Just use Elementor free. You can do it. Or you could use Pro. If you don't want to use custom CSS, don't use it. If you don't want to use a code snippet, don't use it. If you don't want to, you know, do global colors and global fonts because you're just going to use the system font for like Arial and you're just going to always pick the right hex color. Maybe your entire website is just black and white. That's it. 0000 and FFFFFF. Ooh, fa. Ooh, fa. That's it. That's all your website is, right? You can get away with it, but when you want to use it, it's there. And I think that will be the same with the class system, the global, all of that. The AI, I think the AI is going to be really interesting, John. I have, though, thrown a couple of questions back to their dev team as I experimented with it, so I've seen it, but there are a few things where I just need clarity because I feel like either they missed a trick or they didn't realize that this happens. And I feel like if this happens, you need to make it clearer as to what to do. I know what to do, but anyone else out there is going to go, oh, that means I can't use it. So I feel like there needs to be a little bit of clarity as to what you need to do. Shravan says, any idea how to add date picker for WooCommerce? Have you tried ChatGPT? My number one response to a lot of questions right now, whether you're in the Web Squadron group or the Elementor group or the group or a groupie, is have you gone to ChatGPT? Have you gone to Claude? Have you gone to Gemini? Have you gone to Copilot? Go and ask your question there, but be specific over what you want. So you say date picker. Does that include time or just date? Is it the month and the year as well? Clarify exactly what you want and state it must be a free plugin or a code snippet or something that's going to help you achieve what you want, and go down that route first. Hey, Floyd, because we now are in the world of support for problem solving. And Shravan, do not take this the wrong way, because you're not lazy, but a lot of people are still being lazy, where we go, I got a problem. Help me out. Here's an image. How do I do this? Here's a website. How do I do that? I got, designer gave me this. How do I do that? You help me out. What's the code? I want a free solution. For the last 15 odd years, 20 years, right? You could go to Google and type free WooCommerce date picker free plugin and see what Google gives you. Change your results to be the latest month. See what it gives you. You now have ChatGPT. You have all of these AI solutions, and you can say, here's what I want. Give it as much detail as you can. Is there a plugin for free? If not, or even if there was, is there a code snippet? And then you prompt upon prompt upon prompt to get what you want. There are ways to do it. The amount of times people paste an error message. I got an error message. Oh, what does this mean? For fuck's sake, just copy the error message. Here's what pisses me off the most, right? This really fucking pisses me off, like, to the fuck's sake of fuckeries, right? People, they get an error message and they then screenshot it and put the screenshot on the forum. They go, what is this? So if I now want to, like, take your error message and put it into ChatGPT or even Google, because someone on Reddit might have got an answer, I can't. I've got to type it out. Fuck's sake, right? You've got the error message. Copy the text. Paste it in your question. Or paste it into AI. And you might be surprised, because if someone out there has come across that or whatever, they may have a solution for you. So take it, Google it, AI it. But I feel like, I don't want to say, by the way, Shravan, I'm not saying you're lazy, but I'm saying it is a lazy way to approach things now, okay? Half the tutorials I'm putting out there started with a problem or an idea or a brainstorm, and then I jump into ChatGPT because I've got an idea, but I'm not sure, or I don't have a clue at all. And then the AI is going to start building it with me. And I don't say for me, it's with me, because what it gives me ain't exactly what I want. And then I will go, right, now let's do this. Or I might even put, this is really silly. Start again. Forget everything. This is what I want you to do. And I'll break it into stages. Right, give me a container with the border. Now focus on the top border. I want it to be this big, and I want it to be sliced off or whatever. And then it does it. And then you refine the prompt, re-prompt upon the prompt, okay? And then you get what you want. But if you start to help yourself out, you're not waiting for an answer. You can post a question 5 hours later. No one has given you the answer you need. There'll be answers, but not the one you need. You could have, in 1 hour, half an hour, got what you needed. And that's what we need to be doing more. I keep moving away from the microphone. That's what we need to do more of. Abdullah, where can I find free Elementor Pro templates? Go on to Google. You have got Google, right? Go to Google. You will do it, and you will find what you do. Lex, teleprompter. Yeah, I've gone for the Elgato. The Elgato teleprompter. It was £199 on Amazon. I did a load of research. There are cheaper ones, but the Elgato teleprompter should hopefully work and fit very well with my iPhone webcam that I got at the moment. So if it means that I'm able to get out, load more talking videos where I've scripted what I'm going to say, and I don't have to stop, start, stop, start. Oh, got to memorize it. Then look at the camera. Then I go, no, that's wrong. Forgot. Oh, no, I'll say it again. And I'll say it. Oh, no, I missed out a word. Oh, no. I hate that. Because you want to be fluid, right, Lex? You know what I mean. It's annoying as hell. Global is amazing. So I'm just going to skip down some of the questions. Yeah, John, get fed up of telling people to use AI. And I'm sorry if I'm very rude and blunt about it, but I feel like 2025 year is the year of bluntness from me. I'm going to be so upfront with shut the fuck up and get on with it. Or here's your solution. Or stop arguing with me about it. Like someone yesterday, so I did a video about the inverted curved border radii. I think I can get it open. In fact, shall I show you what I'm talking about? So this video is coming out on, this is coming out on Wednesday, right? Look at this. This is not tabs. This is not slides. These are just images, right? Watch what happens when I click this image. Boom, the image changed, the image changed, the image changed. These are just images. And when you click on an image, it sends the source path for the image to here. It sends it over to there. And you're going to see that in a moment. And I need to, I think it was it this one? No, it's not. Was it this one? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. That was a test. Ignore that. So I did this, right? And the video I released yesterday, and the solution I've got for this, I still think is the most easiest, innovative way to do it. Why? Because you can still stick stuff inside of here. So if you want to stick text into here or whatever, or you can do, right? And someone came out with, that's the most stupidest, ridiculous way to do it. And that's what I expect from Elementor people because they are so basic in their thinking and blah, blah, blah. And my response was, well, how would you do it? How would you do it? Right? Don't tell me it's crap unless you've got a better way of how to do it. And by the way, on Monday, you have got this video coming out. Let me just show you. On Monday, this video is coming out. This is a shop. Okay, you can still do your filtering. When you scroll down, there is nothing. Over here, we have grab the latest gear. This is so easy to build. Let me go and add this item over here. Watch what happens to over there. Boom, the cart appears. One page shop, right? One page shop, you got your cart. I can add to cart. Boom, boom, boom. I scroll down and I've now got the checkout. I don't have a repeat of this because in the checkout, you get the repeat. One page cart checkout. And look what happens when I get rid of the items. Get rid of the items. Boom. We're back to one page. You can't scroll down. And I'm now grabbed the latest gear. You're going to see this on Monday. And there is no code. The only code was me doing a little bit more with the CSS. But you're going to get all of that on Monday. So there's Monday. There's Wednesday. Yes, that's WooCommerce. Yes, that was WooCommerce, by the way. That was WooCommerce. By the way, go and check out some of Paul's videos. Hey, Paul, because he has got his bricks masterclass videos and stuff, and he is doing a load more because someone asked about bricks. Paul is the master on that. Go and check out his course and details. Right. Let me just go back and check the questions because I skipped a little bit there. By the way, Paul, my Elgato teleprompter, the new one is arriving today. Can't wait to test that out. So hopefully I can do longer descriptive videos in the future. Soul Esperanza, how to set up a WordPress website. Go and look. Well, look, on the learn.websquadron.co.uk website. Shall I show it to you? Should we go over to it? Learn.web. I should have this as a shortcut. I'm so bad at my shortcuts, but if we just go over to learn.websquadron website, I've got videos on this, by the way. If you go down to over here, WordPress settings, you click it, and for free, You're going to get the WordPress settings and tips and screenshots of what you want to do. Go and check out our videos. You know, don't forget, we have got the course as well from A to Z on how to build an Elementor website. But we've got videos. Go and do a search for WordPress settings. I've got like 10-minute videos for how to set that all up, and you'll be totally fine. Let me just scroll down. Yeah, Lex, that inverted video, that what I did is just CSS, right? There's no extra HTML. There's no JavaScripting. There's no like, we're going to add in a pseudo element, a spacer, and then we're going to curve it. It's all done within the child container, which means you can drop buttons, icons, stuff inside, and it's easily adaptable when you get to your mobile screen as well. Hey Mel, how are you doing? And Uji man, Ugman, I'm doing all right. Family's doing all right. It is very cold at the moment. Let me just scroll down. I'm missing stuff. Absolutely, Paul. I mean, I did so much research. Hey Beatrice, I did loads of research on teleprompters, and they were like, there's such a range. But the Elgato one, it started ticking a lot of boxes, especially because I use my iPhone, right, as my webcam. And I was like, okay, this could work. If it don't work, I'll return it. But I hope it speeds things up for me from an efficiency point of view. But Lex, like I said, that one-page shop, that was WooCommerce. And I feel like it's going to blow your mind when you come to have a look at how I did that. Hugo from Buenos Aires. I appreciate the knowledge you share. I need help setting a YouTube video as a background in Elementor, playing in a loop. Okay, look. If it's a YouTube video, right, you are gonna have a problem with branding. If it's unless it sits on something like Muse.ai or BunnyNet or Vimeo. If you do it on Vimeo, you can get rid of the branding, you know, but if it's a YouTube video, then you're going to have to look at Presto Player. It's a real pain in the ass how YouTube have made it such a fuck's sake of a problem. Sorry for swearing, by the way, but I hate the way they've made it. You would think that YouTube would be like, hey, you know, the video is still on YouTube and it's feeding over. If they could just get rid of the branding, I hate it. Like, really friggin' hate it. But Presto Player, which is quite expensive, in my opinion, for what you get. But you might want to look at third-party stuff like... There was one solution. I think I shared it on YouTube, but I've always been suspicious of it in how not good it was, but I've always been a little bit funny about it. But Muse.ai is good. BunnyNet, CDN, all of that is good. Vimeo is probably your best option. You know, if you just want to upload it and then share the link. Minus 24 degrees in Ottawa, Canada. Wow. I think a lot of us in the UK, when we see minus 24, we can feel our anuses turning into icicles, literally growing out of it. Minus 24. Super scary. Oh, Phil, you've missed loads, right? You've missed loads of stuff. Adrian, did you take any YT courses to grow your channel? No. Adrian, I have never taken any YT courses. You know why? They're just going to tell you the same thing, right? I think Paul would agree with me on this. They're just going to say, do the thumbnail, think of your titles, keep them short or hook them. You know, the images you do as well. Don't over worry about your lighting and your camera, but do worry about them to an extent. Because if I go to a channel or a video, if that video is telling me something I cannot see anywhere else, even if your quality is shit, I'll watch it. But if there's other people that cover that topic, I will go to the better quality video, the better quality sound, the better quality content, you know, the way it's done. So think about it to an extent. But no, all of these courses But YouTube just want to take your money. None of these courses are going to get you to 1,000. None of them are going to make you money. It's all down to you and what you put out there, right? If you do a video about hens walking around, you might do well, you might not. But you got to find out is what do people want? And so many of these tutors, they're like, hey, I done a course and this person has now got like 100,000 subscribers and they're making tons of money and whatever, right? Half of it's not true. But that might be because they did something that people wanted to watch, right? So they're doing crazy stuff or whatever, or cooking or whatever, or beauty tips. Your videos might be about web design. And if you look at every web designer out there with a YouTube channel, they grow at a steady rate. Some might have had an explosion in terms of popularity due to circumstances or something, but everything grows at a steady rate. Don't look at it and go, well, so and so, they're a tutor and they've got loads. Okay, look, let me be. Okay, do you know what? Do I dare be controversial? Fuck it. Yeah, let's be controversial, right? There will be people out there that have grown their channels from like 20,000 to 100,000 in a short space of time. Don't fall for the bullshit, right? Because there are some people out there that will... Hey, Paul's just said it. Paul's just said it. That is exactly what I was coming to, Paul. They have promoted and bought their views and bought their subs and whatnots and bloody blahs, right? Okay. A lot of us, Paul will put out a video and we'll get loads of views, and he might put out another video and not get so many. And the same happens to me because we produce and create, but there's no magic bullet. But consistency, like you just said, Adrian, is the key thing, right? You got to be consistent. Be consistent. Be out there, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, social media, Facebook, engaging in LinkedIn forums and all of that, without spamming, without cold calling. Hey, do you want a website and all this shit, you know? But being consistently out there, being noticed, being remembered, that is important, but remembered for the right reasons as well. UG Man, what is the best security plugin or service for a WordPress website? Hey, look, PatchStack wins, brilliant. Malcare, really good. I recommend you use that. But yeah, go for stuff like that. Ask ChatGPT. I made a big deal about this 20 minutes ago. Go and ask Google. Go and ask ChatGPT. What does it think? Melissa, hubby's first winter. When you, I mean, where are you at the moment, Melissa? I mean, you're in Canada, aren't you? No, did you say you're in Canada, Melissa? London winter didn't seem so. No, London winter is pretty light, to be honest. John says I got a new Star Wars figure. No, I've had that one for a while. I've had that for a year. It's not always been on view. It's like one of these special edition Boba Fett's, which is pure white. So it's Boba Fett, but in pure white. So it's like special edition figures kind of thing, you know. But yeah, there's people out there that buy their... in the old days, when I say old days, I mean like 15 years ago, people were buying Twitter followers. They were buying like, so they could say, yeah, I got 20,000, 5,000. They were buying them. They were buying likes. And the same with YouTube. You can buy views, you can buy subs, you can promote, you can, you know, you can go from like 20,000 subs. Yeah, hey, Paul, shall we be really controversial, Paul? I'll say it. You can back me up, but we don't say any more than that, right? You could, if you want, with a bit of crafty promotion, get 500,000 subs in one day. Couldn't you, Paul? And we're not going to say who or what, but you could literally double your entire subs in 24 hours overnight without even releasing a single video. You could do that, right? Do you know what I mean? And the way you would do that is you would go to YouTube and you would promote a video and you might pop in something like, I don't know, $5,000. I ain't never doing that, but you could do it and your subs will go vroom, like that. But what's the point of that? Tell me what the point of is buying subs and views, because you're not really going to make any money from it because you've paid $5,000, say. People might watch your video, but it costs more to promote than what you get back from views. And those people, because they're just like whatever subs, they're not going to buy your course. They're not going to come back. They're not going to comment. They're not really going to do anything for you to help you. But it happens. It does happen. And we've seen it happen. We know it happens. And I see it more recently with some people who are happy to tell the world, hey, I've now got 100,000 and I've helped a channel do this. And I don't mean to be controversial because I'm not naming and shaming anyone, but believe me, I see you, right? I see you. We can see what's happening. We're not stupid, right? I mean, I'm an analytical background, so I see shit for shit. I don't even have to open the toilet seat to see the shit. I smell the shit. You know, I'm in a bit of a crazy mood, aren't I? It's that Friday feeling. Yeah, you can. So, I mean, I've paid for the blue check mark on Twitter because I wanted to have a look at other stuff. Like, what else do they offer? And I don't even know if it was really worth it. The only good thing about the blue Twitter mark was I could start to do much longer posts. And, you know, that does have benefits. To be honest, though, Floyd, the views can be from anywhere. But believe me, mate, it happens. And there's a lot of dodgy stuff going on. You know, we know it. Exactly what Paul says there. I mean, for me, it's nice to see when you're growing, but I don't live and breathe just by that. For me, it's about if I create content or put a video out, are people watching it and liking it, and is it helping my brand and business from that point of view? I care more about that. Tyrell, have started my business after working 20 years in IT a few months ago, making websites. I want you to know your vids. Hey, look, everything I do, Paul does, Wiki Design does, Jeffrey does, Dave Foy does, and I'm going to stretch it out, right? Kevin Geary does. You know, and it's not just into WordPress website and all of that. Udura Cracker, you know, everything, Lex, everything we do is to make a difference and help you out. And if our videos do that, it makes the pain of brainstorming, recording, editing worthwhile. Because if no one was watching, that's when you start to question, well, why am I doing this? Who's it really for? So if we do stuff that helps, it means a huge, huge amount for us. TF Vehicle, how you doing? Are you on the Baileys again? Nope, not on the Baileys again. Just, I don't know, feeling a bit crazy at the moment. I don't know why. Feeling a bit crazy. Hugo, what's your opinion about Bricks? Bricks is really good. And if you want to use it instead of Elementor Pro, go for it. But to be honest, I feel like you could say, nah, not enough sugar, Soul. I'm very low. I don't like to do too much sugar kind of things. Back to Hugo. You could use Breakdance. You could use Gutenberg. You could use Wix. You could use Squarespace. You could use anything and everything you want to use at the end of the day. I just think that you got to find what do you want to use. And I feel like if you want to get dirty, literally, with classes and all of that, and you like to have a lot more control, Bricks is brilliant for that. But there's other solutions as well. Kevin's Etch. What's that all about? What's that going to be? By the way, is anyone here using Etch? Is anyone here using Etch? Because strangely, I don't hear anything about it.
I've not signed up for Edge, right? So that's my loss, you could argue, right? But is anyone here using Edge? Is anyone going to be brave enough to talk about it? Like, has anyone got like a version? I don't want to. I don't want it because I'm not. I'm happy with what I got. I have my tools. So it's looking good and it's still growing. Soul's got it for testing. Phil says no. George, I hope I didn't miss this, but what do you think about the new Elementor theme, the business one? I've not looked at it, George. I'm waiting for the Elementor future talk thing on January the 16th because I'd rather get the lowdown on what do they say kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, Gideon, have I used UI frameworks of Elementor? No, but I build my own CSS frameworks and I did a video on that and I cover it in our Elementor course as well, you know, over here. CSS course, by the way. And don't forget, I should remind you of our business packs as well. So don't forget, if you want to learn some tips about cracking the user experience code or the ultimate guide to clients. Who's got this guide? Did this make your brain explode a little bit? Ultimate guide to clients, $1. It's only 17 pages, but there's stuff I tell you in there that I think should make you rethink your strategies, and it's all doable kind of thing, right? So John, you're saying it's looking good, but you know, and it's still growing. And Soul, you're testing it. You know, I mean, anything more you want to say about it? Obviously, it's evolving. Do you think it's going to be a huge game changer in the way you build, or is it just like, well, it's just another page builder, you know, kind of thing? Hey, Atif, you're always late to the party. You know, you're like the guy who comes in at the end when everyone's walking out, and then you'll just walk around looking for leftovers. You're that guy. George, me and some fellow squadroneers are secretly awaiting your video on it. Yeah, I will do a response video to that, obviously, kind of thing once it's out. But I'm optimistic. And there's been a lot of roadmap videos where I don't hide the fact that you come out of it and you go, well, all right. The roadmap videos feel more like we're treading over stuff we already knew, you know, and there wasn't anything brand new. And I think they've heard that, and I think they've realized, right, we've got to make a bit of commotion if we're going to jump to this version 4 version kind of thing. Atif, I'm gate. Yeah, you are the gate crasher. Lex, I have used Etch. It's different and aimed for devs. Now, you see, but it will be better. Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing, right? In that, a lot of people say, like, you know, Elementor is for basic people. I don't completely go with that. I feel like you can use a lot of code and CSS, as I do in the videos and people have seen. And then Bricks is more for, like, if you want to use classes and all of that. And Etch might be more for the developer side of it kind of thing, right? But what you've got to look at is what side of the spectrum, or what part of that do you want to go in at? Do you want to go in more from the developer side, go in more from the CSS classes side, or do you want to be able to build and get it out the door? Because don't forget, you can still do classics and classes and CSS stuff with CSS with Elementor if you think about it, kind of thing, right? Cloudflare Turnstile is really good. There's just a price to pay for it. So I'm not going to say, no, it's not good, but it's all totally fine. Lex says there is a change log. John says it's more of a circle talk, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, nothing against Kevin or his inner circle or anything like that, but I feel like things need to be opened out a little bit more. And but then again, I'm not using Etch, so it's not my view. So who cares? You know, Kevin can do what Kevin wants to do. If it's working, if he's making money out of it, if he's producing, employing people, helping you to deliver what you need to do, then so be it. But it probably won't be something I'll jump in, because Etch is a dev first, and it makes it easy for people that like a page builder experience. I'm waiting on my referral link. Well, you can't post it in Web Squadron. That's the other thing, though. I don't think anyone on here has been guilty of this, but I have been deleting a few posts from the Web Squadron. I've let the people know why. I have a brand, and if someone approaches me to do a review or a video on a plugin or a product, they have to pay. And even if they agree to paying, if I don't like it, I'm very like, no, I don't, that doesn't fit my audience or how I like to do things. So I don't want to get involved. No matter what you're going to pay, I don't want to do it. Oh, John, sorry, I get it. Yeah. But there was like someone posted today a video about Metabox, and I removed it because if you're going to start, if anyone promotes anything in the Web Squadron group, if it hasn't gone through me, that's free advertising within my group for a product where there's no payment. So I am a little bit anal about that. And I know there'll be other forums and places you can post where you can post that, but I'm a little bit like, it's a brand. It's the, yeah, I'm a little bit anal about that. But yeah, January 16. I think a lot of us, do you think it will be probably the biggest watched event in terms of Elementor? Because the very first time we had the first roadmap in January 2023, which I have to be honest, right, was about 3 to 4 months after me and Paul really let rip on Elementor. When the Elementor notes came out, we let rip, and like, I know a lot of Elementor people weren't happy, but we were very brutally honest, right? And then January 2023, about 3 to 4 months after that, the first roadmap event, that a lot of people came to that. Not as many as I thought. And then after that, I feel like the roadmap events there, the amount of attendance has kind of twaddled down a bit. I think the January 16 event, because we're being told it's version 4, I think we're going to get a lot of people coming to that. Some for the wrong reasons. Like, some are going to come just to go, this is shit, this is crap. Oh, what are you all doing here? You're all lazy. Oh, you're all fuckheads. You don't know anything about page building. Oh, you're lazy. You're this and that. We're going to get a lot of that. Or there will be some of that. But I think that January 16 event, I hope they know what they're going to say, get to the point, tell us what's on the table, what we're going to get, when we might get it, test phases, and are we in the alpha, beta, what's going to happen and all that. I hope we get told a lot more than what we already know, because they've kind of told us quite a bit, haven't they? They could have just said version 4 is coming. And just by doing that, I think would have got us all like, ooh, what is coming? Because we're on version 3.26 and now we got version 3.27 beta. If all they had done, a bit like Apple, when Apple do it and all you get is the logo, what they should have done is just had a logo with a number 4 going, it's coming. Or the big announcement about, that's all they should have done. And then they could have teased us all the stuff, right? We know they're going to talk about the business theme. We know they were going to talk about classes and global stuff and site planner. And so we know what's coming. I'll be really disappointed if they just tell us what we already know. If they just tell us that, and we see some screenshots and a few stuff, but if that's all we get, I'm going to be like, well, that didn't really tell me anything, did it? Because some of the roadmaps we've had, it's like we have a roadmap and they go, right, and we released the off canvas. Yeah, we know. And we released a mega menu. Yeah, we know. We're using it. And we did some optimization on performance. Yeah, we know. Tell me something I don't. Right, there's been a doorbell. I've got to go to the doorbell. It's probably my teleprompter. Hold on. Damn it, it's not my teleprompter. Just Raheem coming home from school. I was hoping it was my teleprompter. Lex just bought the Elgato teleprompter too. Was on the edge about it anyway. What was on the edge? What was that? It's coming today at some point. And I'm hoping I can test it out. I won't do a review, but I'll let you guys know in the Web Squadron Facebook group if it's really good, kind of thing. The thing is though, Floyd, you can't say act normal because I can see the comments. Hey Morgana, hope you're okay. So yeah, I don't think V4 is going to be a rewrite though. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I think it will just tag on to what we have. The cats are all right, Floyd. One of them is sleeping up there, and the other one is, I don't know actually. No, I don't know. I don't know where the other one is. He's around somewhere. They usually wake up around about this time, and I have to give them their second meal. We have their 5 a.m. meal when I get up and I feed them then. Then we have the 8 a.m. meal. Then we have the 11:30 a.m. Then we have the 3 p.m.-ish meal. Then we have the 6 p.m. You're right, Raheem. You can come over here if you want. It's a live chat. Okay. How was your day at school? Good. Good. This is all I get out of him. It was good.
It went amazing.
It was amazing. What do you mean amazing? What was amazing?
Learning.
Are you cold?
No. I went wearing my coat all day.
Where's your jumper?
I left at school.
Really? Oh man, it's freezing out there and he's not wearing his jumper. You should wear your jumper. All right. Anyway, go and eat.
Okay.
Go and eat. Go, 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 go. Is everything at school okay though? You sure?
Yeah.
Tell Mr. Betts, everything all right with him? Talk to me afterwards about that.
Yeah.
And your lips, Raheem, put some Vaseline on your lips, all right? He does, John. His lips, like, sometimes I feel like he's going to drop out, like, with hypothermia or something, like, you know, like, he comes in here and I'm like, your lips are purple, dudes. You know, stop going out in the cold. We got a little bit of snow, Mel. It was something like about, you know, like that kind of thing. So because it's so small, it ices up quicker. So it was more dangerous for ice. Like right now, some of the roads were pretty icy out there. But no. I mean, there was, the snow kind of came and then, you know, by the time it was afternoon, it was kind of melted away kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about that earlier, Floyd, about this, you know, like, you know, there's so much bad stuff in the world, but the whole California thing, you know, you can't really prepare for it. It's a bit like floods. You can't. Well, if you live in an area where you've been flooded, you know there's a chance it might happen again, and you hate it. But in some areas, like right now, like I said, like where I live, what if a fire came and just swept across all of this area? You just wouldn't be prepared for it. You know, you just wouldn't be prepared. Phil, no snow on the South Coast. Kids were not. Did they want to skip school or something like that? They probably did, right? Yeah, I mean, I think that the problem is, right, and let's not get political here because circumstances and people and stuff like that. But in hindsight, we can always say that something could have been done better when you have disasters like that. And I always feel like there's always going to be, we could have done this, we could have done this, we could have done this, we could have done this. And I always feel like in that moment, in that scenario, the right decision was probably made for something, but then that right decision there was not good for this situation or that situation. I feel like in hindsight, you know, if ever there was, I mean, there was a floods, about, you know, 3-minute walk away from us in where we live. And it's flooded numerous times and like loads of houses, right? So in Leicestershire, when they announced there was a critical situation, it was literally that area there near us. We never get it. But the moment if we ever do get it, I don't think we will. We're quite lucky on the way the land lies. But if we ever do get it, we're all going to be like, oh, how did that happen? But then you kind of go, but, you know, yeah, one day, right, a meteorite's going to hit the Earth. Boom. And it's going to wipe out half the world. And then someone's going to go, where was Bruce Willis when that meteorite was coming? Kind of thing, right? Okay, everyone, I've been live for 1 hour 40. I'm going to jump off now. Raheem's home. Going to go chat to him, check he's all right. Make sure he eats. Make sure he changes his clothes. Make sure he puts a Vaseline on his lips. And I got to go and attend to the cats. Because I know what they're going to eat and how much they eat. So I like to divvy up their foods and stuff like that. So I'm going to say goodbye. Hey, look, I'm sure I'll do a live chat next week. Keep a lookout for the videos. I gave you a sneak peek of the one-page shop and the images swapping, which is so cool. The code is like that big. It's so tiny. Keep a lookout for that coming out next week. And obviously, I'm sure I'll see you all. Hey, Bruno. I'm sure I'll see you all on January the 16th. Stay safe, take care, look after yourselves. Don't do anything dangerous. And if you are going to do something dangerous, just be careful. Like, subscribe, share, and follow. See you soon. Bye.